Okay, hello everyone. So my name is Jeongkyu. I am a professor of computer science department at the University of Bridgeport. It's my great pleasure to introduce Anyone Python to you. So today is the orientation for Anyone Python season one. There will be the 12 episode in this season. So today is orientation. So we are not going to learn anything special regarding to the Python. Instead, we are going to introduce each other, then we know what we learn throughout the season one, the Anyone Python. So what is Anyone Python? So I know that this is kind of the weird decision. So during the pandemic, because of the COVID-19, so everybody stay at home and class is going on online. So during that time, so I'd like to offer the activity that anyone can join. So regarding the computer and computer science, what I can do is the programming language. Specifically, I'm teaching the object-oriented programming in computer science. Also, I'm teaching the data and data structure in computer science major. So what I can do is why not teach the very basic computer programming, specifically the Python during the pandemic to everyone. Everyone means those who do not major in computer science. So those who do not know what is really computer, so then they will learn how to use computer and how to use programming languages, specifically the Python program language. So this is designed for such a non-major, the computer science, the people. So then there is a very, very introductory and the basic, the computer programming class. And also, it's not like the formal and the normal, the class. I'm not going to use any specific textbook. So, and also I'm not going to use the specific material. So it's not like the regular course. A regular course, probably you have the bunch of slides from your the instructor or professor, and you study underline and so on. So this course is not like that. Instead, you are going to follow what I'm going to introduce, and sometimes the activity, sometimes the installation, sometimes the programming. You can just follow what I'm going to introduce. Then if you are a little bit behind the pace, then later you are able to watch the recorded video. Eventually, you can follow. So it's an informal way of the learning computer programming. Also, this Anyone Python is in English, not the other languages. So first time it looks like weird, but you will get familiar with learning the program language in English, because that makes sense. Computer program language is not actually for computer. Instead, it's for human being, the human languages. So nowadays, current most of the computer program language is very close to the natural language, specifically the English. So if we learn the computer program language in English, it's much easier to learn. So for example, we are going to use if for control statement later. So if you know what's the meaning and what's the sentence, what's the grammar of if in English, it's very easy to use in Python programming, in any other program language. So because of that, we are going to use the English, even for the communication throughout the season. So please, even though it's not, if you are not familiar with taking the class in English, so but you will get used. So that's the Anyone Python. So how the Anyone Python is organized? There's no the specific format actually, but this is the third time to offer the Anyone Python. So I'm going to provide a little bit the slide material because some of the students want to review using the slide. So very limited the slide. The PowerPoint file will be provided after the class, but you don't have to study. You don't have to rely on. So anyone Python is just the for fun. So then not stressful. There's no exam. There's no evaluation. So if you just watching if you cannot follow, just watch the live video or recorded video. That's pretty much enough. Then later, after you finish the season 1 or the season 2, season by season, you will realize you are much improved for computer and the computer science. So first thing is to enjoy the program. And it's for fun. It's not stressful. It's not for grade. Okay, so that is the N1 Python for this time. And is there any prerequisite for N1 Python? Absolutely no. There's no prerequisite. So even though this is the first time to use the program language, you are able to follow. But I worry about those who already know the computer program language or some experience, or those who are in computer science major, because this probably very easy for those who have the experience. But if you stay in this N1 Python, you will also see the different view of a computer. That's what I intend. So if you do not have any experience on computer or the computer programming, so don't worry, that's our main target. If you have the experience on computer program language or the computer science, you may have the different perspective of computer and the computer science. That's what I intend. So first, I'd like to introduce myself. So my name is Jeongkyu Lee. So first name is Jeongkyu and last name is Lee. So actually, I'm from Korea. So I got a first job, the 1996, at a bank in Korea. So then at the time, my role was the database administrator. If you do not know what is the database is a kind of computer programming that managed and stored a bunch of data, very large data. That is the database. Specifically, I manage the Oracle database. If you never heard about the Oracle, so probably you heard about the news from nowadays the United States. United States banned the TikTok app, which is from China. Then they asked TikTok to sell their stock, the ownership in US to one of the company, the US. At that time, the Oracle decide to buy the ownership of such a TikTok. So Oracle actually the company who produced the database software. So I was the administrator who managed such a database 1996. But the interesting thing is at that time I didn't have any experience. I didn't have any background in computer. So my major was mathematics education. So I'd like to be a high school math teacher. But the manager who hired me, he chose me because of my major. So database is very closely related to the mathematics, specifically set theory. So he believed those who knows the mathematics can learn the database very easily. So that was my first job in industry. Then, so I got married after I got a job. Then I have my first child, 2000. Then I got the degree from the Sogang University, the computer science master. It was an evening class. So because I realized that I didn't have a background in computer science, so one of the problem of mine, the skill is there's no theoretical background. So I didn't learn the fundamental thing of the computer science. So I took the courses in evening class, then I got the master degree. Then finally, I moved to the United States for studying abroad, 2002. Then I majored in computer science and engineering. So specifically, I learned the database and multimedia database, data mining, and so on. Then after I got the degree, so I got a job. Actually, I tried to found a job in Korea. So I tried to back to Korea at the time, but you know it is hard to get a job when the applicant is almost 40 years old. So I was almost 40 years old at the time, so it was not easy. So I decided to get a job in US. So I uh, joined the University of Bridgeport as an assistant professor. Right now, I'm a professor of computer science and engineering department. Also, I am director of multimedia information group. There is a research group at UB, mostly focused on the multimedia data processing, multimedia data mining, and multimedia machine learning, and so on. Also, I worked for the KUSI, which is the Korean American the Engineering Association, also Korean American Computer Science Engineering and Association. So I worked for such a group between the Korea and the United States, so as a research and teach. Then right now, I'm very much interested in the teaching computer science to the younger the people, like the high school student or those who do not major in the computer science. Then I believe computer science will be kind of the basic subject in near future, like the English or math or science. Then computer is the kind of basic skill. At the time, I heard that even in Korea and China, they started the regular program of the computer science and AI from the elementary school, sometimes even the kindergarten. They teach the AI and computer science to the kindergartner or the elementary school student. That may be true. So I'm very interested in how to deliver such the computer science actually is not easy. The computer science require a lot of math and scientific notation and so on. So it is not easy to learn the first time, but the idea and my goal is how to deliver such the computer science subject to the computer science major people. So that's that makes this kind of program anyone Python. So that's the reason why we are having the lecture like today. Okay. So today is for the orientation. We are not going to learn any specific the program language or any knowledge on computer. Instead, I'd like to share my idea how to organize this program throughout the 12 episodes. So before the class hour is usually 1 hour for each episode. So I'd like to fully utilize the the 1 hour for your practice. But before the class, so please sign in the Zoom, then join this classroom, the Zoom meeting. Then we don't have to waste of our time for the attendance check. If you sign in, then if you join this meeting, then automatically your attendance will be checked, and also TA will check your attendance. Then I think that you received the Zoom link, so please use the Zoom link to join the the lecture classroom. And also, please do your best to join the class before class begin. So it's a lovely the 5 minutes before. But even though you are late, I always encourage you guys to join the meeting. Then it's always late is better than nothing. Okay. So during the class, is I'm not going to log the actually, so but in case it's the in and out a lot, the TA made the log the class the 10 minutes after class begins. So please try to your best to join the meeting on time. Okay. Probably if you ever use the Zoom meeting, so mute audio is kind of a Zoom etiquette. So I suggest you guys to mute the audio if you do not have any question, if you do not have any special thing. So please mute the audio during the classroom. That helped me and TA a lot to manage the classroom. Also, I know sometimes you are shy, so you don't want to show the video, but it's really tough to manage the classroom without the audience. So if I can see your face, it's much better to manage this class. So if possible, so even though I said that you will be kicked out, if you do not turn on the video, I will not, but please, if possible, you turn on your video, then I can see your face, then I can check any reaction of the attendance. And also, please use your full name in English. So you are able to change the name. So if your name is not properly show on your screen, then please change the name as the full name. Then I can recognize who is whom, and then also it will be used for the attendance check. The TA will check your attendance based on your name. Okay. So questions. If this is a regular class, then I can take care of each and every student during the class, but we have only an hour. So then sometimes we have a lot of things to do. And also if I take care of only one student, then we cannot proceed the curriculum that I prepare. So if you have any question, so please use the TA. Okay, that's the reason that we have the 2 TAs. So using chatting box, so you can ask any question. At that time, you can use the English, or you can use Korean, you can use any language if you want, but please ask any question during my lecture, during the class. You can ask to the TA. Then the TA, I already met the TA before, and they are really smart, so they can have anything. Even if you cannot find the menu, ask TA. And if you cannot learn the program, ask TA. So first, if you have any question during the class, please you ask your question to the TA using chat box. Okay. If you speak by unmuting the audio, it will be really annoying everybody. So please use the chat box, or just in case you can raise your hand using the reaction, so then I can recognize who has the question. Then if I have a time, or during the waiting time, I can take care of your question. So please one more time use the chat box if you have any question. So then you can ask to the TA. You can use any language. Okay, then what am I supposed to do during the class? So during the class, if I'm talking or I'm speaking, I'm lecturing, you can hear, just hear. But most of the time, I'm going to ask you to do something. So Today's orientation is different, but regular class we will have a lot of activity like the click or the something, the installing or something testing, something programming. But this is the minimal thing. First, please open the web browser. So then this web browser can be the Chrome or the Safari, the whatever you want, but please ready for the Google search, because whenever you have a question, so most of time you are not the first one who got the problem. So you can find the answer from the Googling. So please use a lot the web browser for your question first. So web browser will be used a lot throughout the season. So I'm going to give the link. Why don't you go to this website and you can read, watch the video and so on. So please use a web browser like that. And also, PyCharm. If you do not know what is a PyCharm, don't worry. We will install the PyCharm a couple of weeks later of the episode 2. So during the episode 2, we are going to install the PyCharm. So then we will do something Python programming with the PyCharm. So PyCharm is actually the software that we are going to use throughout the season, N1 Python season 1. Okay, so 2 should be always ready. So web browser and the PyCharm. So for example, let me show you the example of such a setup. So for example, where is that my PyCharm? So here. So let me change the screen to the desktop. So this is my desktop. So you should be ready like this. Then by watching you don't have to watch my face a lot. So you don't have to. Instead, if I have something to share with you, I'm going to share my desktop. So your desktop should be like this one. The right-hand side, you will turn on the PyCharm. It's a software that you are going to use for Python. Then the left-hand side always the Google is running. So the how to print. For example, if you have the how to print in Python, for example, then you will get something the print hello, print something. So most of the time you will find the answer for your question. So please use the Googling a lot during the N1 Python lecture. Okay, then because I'm sharing my desktop, I'd like to show the couple of other things. It's kind of the layout of this classroom, especially for my lecture teaching. So if I'm using the slide lecture, I'm going to use the left-hand side, the slide, Google slide. Okay, so the slide will be provided after the lecture, so you don't have to screenshot every time. So this will be, but I'm not going to provide before the class because I realized that a lot of students in my class actually rely on the PPT file a lot. Where's the PPT? Can I study with the PPT? No, PPT is just a supplementary. It's to help student or to help the instructor to teach, to study. So it's not the major thing, the material when you learn something. So I'm not going to provide the PowerPoint file before class, but after the class, you are able to find this slide as a PDF format. Okay. So left-hand side is usually the material that for lecture, and right-hand side I'm going to use the PyCharm software. So can you read the comment over here? So if you cannot read this comment, please enlarge the screen. Then you should be able to. So if you have the monitor, your monitor is much better. Then you can put your monitor left-hand side and the laptop right-hand side, then you can watch my lecture while you are typing, while you are doing your programming. So this is my suggestion. However, you don't have to follow this layout. This is my suggestion. So if you have your preference, you can just do the way. Okay. Then sometimes if I need to annotate something, so for example, I'm going to use the annotation. So for example, if there's this is very important, like that. Okay, you are able to see my annotation. Okay, also please read carefully the first line, then you are able to see this one. Also, sometimes if I have very important command or something information, I'm going to write down here. So like the Python and a.py. So this is the command will be used throughout the lecture. Then I will leave over here like that. Okay. So you should be able to read and recognize this kind of annotation. So I'm going to use this annotation. However, you probably realize I'm using the mouse to write down this one. So it's not easy to write the very details of the note. So sometimes I'm going to use my iPad. So yes, so this is my old iPad. It's probably 5-6 years old. It's older than. Anyway, this is good for me. So it's kind of my whiteboard. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. So for example, this is our computer. So it has the CPU memory, and you are going to insert the Python and PyCharm like this. Okay, so if I need to use a whiteboard, I'm going to use this iPad and share with you. So this is another teaching material that I'm going to use. Definitely, I don't know what kind of information will be written on this whiteboard. So this one will not be provided. It's only available during the lecture. Okay, so then but most of time the main sharing will be the desktop. Also, you can see the one folder. So maybe the episode 1, the next episode. So we are going to create the working folder. So it's named as the anyone folder. It's always available here. So it is good idea to put everything in this folder that we are going to use, that you are going to create in this season. So you can always click and see the inside of this one. And also this program is created under the anyone Python folder like that. So I'm going to give the more information how to create and how to manage the file and the project that we are going to create in this anyone Python program. Okay. Also, there's another issue. It's a really big one. I'm using MacBook. Okay. Probably there are the students in this classroom who are using the Windows, the PC, the Windows 10. So both of them are operating system. So the software to use the computer, but they are different, especially different interfaces. So those who are using the Windows sometimes it's confused. They are basically the similar, but sometimes they're confused. So when I explain the code or the execute the Python program, mostly I'm going to use based on Mac. But in case I need to explain based on the Windows, I have another computer, Windows. This is really old one. It's a little bit slow, but I'm going to connect the Windows PC using VNC. So VNC is the remote desktop. So then for example, Python. Then we are going to run here. Then I can show some example. So, but it's sometimes very slow because I'm connecting the computer using remote desktop. So, but I'm going to try my best. I cannot show both of them. It's really confusing. So, but in case I need to demo or show the Windows case, I'm going to use this. So I will try my best to introduce anyone Python that is not biased the Windows or the Mac OS, but in case it's confusing, I'm going to use the VNC server, VNC client. Okay, I think one more thing. Sometimes I'm going to use this one. So this is called the terminal. So if you do not know what is a terminal, always the search is spotlight search and the terminal. So then enter, then you will see this kind of weird windows. So this is the command line interface. So when we are using computer, so mostly we click, this one click, and this one click, but that's the graphical user interface. But sometimes computer likes such a command line. We can type the command here. So you don't have to worry about what's the PS, what's the LS right now. So sometimes if needed, I'm going to show the example of Python using this terminal. What about the Windows? Windows also has a similar thing. So Windows has let me go back to this VNC server. This is actually command line. So like if you type the CMD, you don't have to do it right now. I will show you how to start this later. So then this time I try to run the Python. So it's very small, you cannot read it. Right now it's okay, it's just showing demonstration. Then we can run the Python based on the command line interface. So sometimes I'm going to use the terminal or the CMD for your, so for Windows it's called the CMD. So CMD, so Windows, and Mac is called the terminal. So terminal AL is a Mac. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use. Let's close and yes. Okay, so this is during the class you will see. So, but I do not explain about this yet. So this is what? It's a PyCharm. So we are going to insert the PyCharm. Then mostly we are going to use the PyCharm to run the anyone Python program later. Okay. And also for better the readability for you guys. So sometimes I can use this kind of the mouse point so you can easily recognize where the Professor Lee is pointing out and so on. First, if this one is annoying, I'm not going to use. Okay, so this is the most asked question. So let me change yes. So computer, because I'm using Windows, do I need to buy the Mac? You don't have to. So I have all the MacBook. Do I have to buy? So you don't have to. Most of computer you are able to use. So you don't have to buy the computer. But if you have a Chromebook or something tablet, so I suggest to find or to buy the laptop or PC. Okay, it doesn't matter the Mac, it doesn't matter the Windows, but as long as you have the PC or a laptop, it's totally fine. Okay, But if you have the Chromebook or the tablet, but you need to think about to find a new PC or old PC, or you can borrow from your friend to complete this Anyone Python. Okay. Then, as I already mentioned about this one. So I'm using MacBook, but I'm trying. As far as I know, our TA used the Windows. Oh no, the Park used the MacBook, if I remember correctly. So, but another TA, hopefully the TA used the Windows. Okay. The next. Then, so it's very important the role of TA this class, because within an hour it's very hard for me to take care of each and every student. So if you have any question one more time, please ask the question to the TA using chat box. Okay, so but please ask only the lecture related question. I know the TA can answer anything, but this class is for the Anyone Python to learn the very basic of basic computer program language. Okay. And also I don't want to bother the TA after class. Even so this class, the goal is the complete within class. So if you have any leftover, so you can do after the class, but please try do your best to complete in this classroom, or by watching while you are watching recorded video, please try do your best to finish it. So I'm not going to ask very the complicated one, the advanced or challenging part. The question, most activity you are able to finish within an hour. This is my goal and this is my intention, which means I don't want all the student bother the TA after the class. Please try to do your best to finish on time in the classroom. And also, please, the TA cannot answer the right away for all the student questions. So please be patient and be nice and kind to TA. Okay. After class, so as I said, I'm not going to give any homework or assignment, but unfortunately, sometimes my lecture will be delayed, so I cannot finish all the thing that I prepare. So at that time, pretty much the leftover will be homework or assignment, but it will not be huge. Most of the such a homework or the assignment can be done within the 10 minutes, so like that. So you don't have to be stressful. So I don't want get the stress in this class. It's just for fun. So that is the first goal or objective of this class. Then, however, just in case if any homework or the assignment, so please do the assignment homework. Otherwise, it is very hard to continue the next step, next episode. Most of the episode is based on the previous episode. Okay. Then, if needed, even though I strongly suggest you guys attend this Anyone Python class, live class. But in case if you cannot attend, please watch the video. Recorded video will be provided by the TA or instructor. So after class, so please watch and or study. If needed, you can watch it again. So then you are able to complete. But as I said, so it's not huge, the material. It's just an hour, the lecture. So it looks good. So then what I'm going to learn in this Anyone Python. So Anyone Python season 1 consists of total 12 episodes, but actually it's a 10 episode. The first one is today is the orientation. It's just the orientation to introduce. And the last one is where is it? Let me close. Yes. Last one. Oh, so it shows the again. I'm going to wait. Yes. The last one is a competition. So, uh, episode 1 through 10 are the major part of the N1 Python. You are going to learn the basic of computers and computer science, also basic of the programming language. We are not going to learn the very detail of the Python. Instead, the using the Carol. Carol is the robot I'm going to introduce the next time, but it's the kind of the we are going to use Python to know about the computer. Then eventually you will also learn something basic of Python programming. Then after the episode 10, you are able to start the computer programming. So last episode, last part will be kind of competition. So I'm going to give the 2, 3, the question. So it's a problem. Then it's kind of a hackathon in this, the N1 Python. So it's consists of a total 12 part, but first part is for orientation, and last one, episode 11, is for the competition, and then the between them. So episode 1 through episode 10 will be what you're gonna learn in this N1 Python season 1. So more details. So episode 1, the next class, you are going to install the Python. What if I already installed the Python? Don't worry, you can enjoy the lecture. Otherwise, if you do not have Python, if you never use a Python, it's a good time to start. How can I start? You need to install the program. So we are going to install the Python. Also, I'm going to introduce what is really Python, and also what is a real computer and the history of computer. So I'd like to introduce a very basic of computer and computer science, and then we are going to install the Python. There are different versions, so we will learn which version will be installed and which version will be retired. So like that. And episode 2, so we are going to learn the first program. Can I do? Yes, you can do. So that is called the Hello World, the Python program. We are going to learn the first the Python programming. Then I'm going to introduce our friend. It's called, the name is Carol. So Carol was born in the Stanford University to help the beginner in computer programming. So like us. So you are going to use Carol, then make the Carol as a friend, then you will learn the Python programming. Then how can I use the Carol? So you need to have the software. So that is called the Python. Do you remember? So just before this one is the Python. So to use the Python code, Python programming, to run the Python programming, you should have the software that is called the IDE. So what is the IDE? Don't worry, we will learn what is the IDE later. So the IDE, the Python program is one of the IDEs. So we will learn how to install and how to set up the Python. Then pretty much you are ready to start. So then from episode 4, we are going to learn how to use Carol to learn about the computer programming. So we are going to start the really beginning part, starting the Python and the first program and repetition and so on. In the next episode, episode 5, we will learn what is a function. Somebody said the computer programming is a bunch of functions. So can I make the function? Yes, you can do that. Actually, all of this, for example, in the programming, all of this is a function. Move is function, pick is function, main is also function, everything is function. So we are going to start the Python programming with the functions. So that is the episode 5. Then episode 6, we will learn the loop. What is a loop? Loop is a repetition, kind of repeat and repeat and repeat again and again. So there are different types of loop. So episode 6, mostly the for loop. Episode 7 is mostly while loop. Then episode 8, then we are going to learn the conditional statement. Conditional statement is the if. You heard about the if, right? So we will learn the such a if, the statement in episode 8. Then finally, the episode 9 and 10, we will learn about the refinement. Refinement is kind of the way of programming. So we will learn how to do the programming with such a Python. It's the episode 9. Then 10, we are going to learn the variable where you can store the data. Then pretty much you are ready to join the competition. So last episode, episode 11, we are going to have the carol competition like that. Okay. So that's our schedule. So the rest of the time, I'm going to, even though you registered this program, but I'd like to have the online survey. So let's copy the link. I'm going to share so please, this is a very short survey to know about my student. So please complete this survey. Okay, I'm going to end today's the lecture, episode 0. So for orientation, thanks so much for your attending. Then we are going to continue the Anyone Python next class. Thank you.